Hey guys, let's take a look at adding and subtracting fractions and mixed numbers. This is just a quick review to go over the basic steps here. The first thing that you need to remember is that when you're adding and subtracting fractions, you need to make sure that you have the same denominator, okay? Only add and subtract the numerator, so after you add or subtract the top, you're going to keep the denominator the same for your answer. As always, try to simplify your answers whenever possible, and we will take a look at what happens when you need to borrow when subtracting, something that pops up occasionally. So we have two fractions right here, and we check the denominators. Are they the same? Yes. So we'll keep the bottom of the answer the same. That'll be a 12. And then we just look at the top and we go ahead and add, since it's saying to add. 10 plus 1 is 11. Can we simplify 11/12? No. So we did check, and the final answer is 11/12. When we take a look at subtraction, it's the same thing. Do we have the same denominators? Yes, so our answer will have a 9 for the denominator. 8 minus 5 is what we're doing on top, so 8 minus 5 is 3. And as always, can we simplify? In this case, yes, we can divide both of these by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. There's our simplified answer, 1/3. So that's the basics of adding and subtracting when we do have common denominators, when they're already the same. What do we do if the denominators are not the same? Well, the first thing I would tell you is take a look at the denominators, and when they're different, see if you can make the smaller denominator into the bigger one. And you can see that right here we've got this 3 right here, and we've got a 9 right here. Can I make this 3 into a 9? Sure, times it by 3. And that way it'll become a 9, just like this one. So what we do to the bottom, we do to the top. 2 times 3 will get us 6. 3 times 3 gets us the 9 on the bottom there. So here we go. 2 times 3 gets 6 there. And we'll pull down this 8/9 right there beside it so we can work it out. Now we have the common denominators. 9 goes on the bottom. 8 plus 6 on top is 14. Now, can we simplify it? Oh yeah, anytime that you've got a bigger number on top than what you have on the bottom, you would put that number, the 14, into a division box there, at least in your head, and then we slide the 9 up to the outside, and we go, how many times can 9 go into 14? Well, it goes in once, so that's going to be your mixed, the beginning of your mixed number. 1 is your whole number. What's left over? 5, so that's the top of your fraction right there. And what do we have to start with? Well, you keep the same denominator, it's 9. So 14/9 turns into 1 and 5/9. Now, what about this one? We've got two mixed numbers here. Well, basically it's about the same idea here. We still need to check to see if we have denominators that are the same. 3 and 5. So that's not going to work there. We got a 3 here, we got a 5 there. Can I make this 3 into the 5? No, can't do that. So looks like we can make them both into 15. So I can times this left fraction by 5. That'll get me a 15 on the bottom. I can times the right fraction by 3, and that'll get me a 15 on the bottom. Remember though, what you do to the bottom of a fraction, you do to the top. Same with this one. Since we times by 3 over here on the right, we'll times the top of the fraction by 3. And we get 5 and 10/15 and 3 and 12/15. Now we can just go straight on like we normally have. We have common denominator on the bottom, 15 on the bottom, so we'll put 15 on the bottom for the answer. 10 plus 12 is 22. And don't forget to add your whole numbers there. 5 plus 3 is 8. Now, can we simplify this? Yeah, it's this situation right here. This 22 over 15. So we're going to put the 22 inside the division box in our head. We'll slide the 15 up to the outside. And you can probably do this in your head with no problem. 15 goes into 22 once, so that would be the whole number. What's left over? 7, so that'll be the top of our fraction right here. And you notice that we had a 15 right here to begin with for our denominator. 15 comes right down here. So what's 8 plus 1? 9. So it's 9 and 7/15. Last thing we need to go over, what if you have to borrow? Now for subtraction, I really do like to stack these up vertically. So I'm going to rewrite this as 5 minus 2 1/3. And I keep my whole numbers, right here on top of each other, and I keep my fractions on top of each other, even if I'm missing a fraction. So I can't do 0 minus 1/3. I can't do that, but I can borrow from the 5, okay? make that a 4, and then we can stick a 1, and at least in our mind, we can stick a 1 right here in the fraction column. And then I look at the fraction that I have down here that's subtracting. You see this 3 right here? Well, how can I make 1 into a fraction that has a 3 on the bottom? Well, basically what you're going to do is you're going to make that 1 into 3 over 3. So whatever that denominator is, you're going to make this 1 into that denominator also, but then make the numerator match it. So because this is a 3, that 1 that we borrowed becomes 3 over 3. And now it's 3 minus 1 is 2. Keep the same denominator, 3. And don't forget, 4 minus 2 is 2. Can't simplify that anymore, so that's our final answer. And then what about this one right here? Well, again, I like to rewrite it vertically, so that'll work. Do we have common denominators? No, we do not. And I cannot make this 5 into a 7. So how about we times this by 7, times this by 5. And what you do to the bottom of a fraction, do to the top. There's our new fraction, 14 over 35. The other fraction is 30 over 35. Slight issue here, I can't do 14 minus 30, so we're going to have to borrow from this 14. We'll make it a 13, right? And then the one that we borrowed, we're going to add on to this fraction. But take a look at this denominator right here. It's a 35. So what are we going to do to this? Make it a 35 over 35. That lets us be able to add these two fractions together, and we go, hey, 14 plus 35 is 49 over 35. And we can kick this one way out here, and we can continue our subtraction. 49 minus 30 is going to be 19. Keep the same denominator, right? Don't forget your whole numbers, though. 13 minus 8 is 5. Kick these two together, and there's your final answer.